every day we lose an average of 22 veterans to suicide. At Operation Intel, our goal is to lower that number. And I believe through conversation and opening up to each other, we can change that with veterans talking to other veterans. Our whole goal is to lower that number of an average of 22 a day to suicide. Today is another pretty special day to me. And the reason why is because another one of my guys from Iraq that I deployed with is on with us today. And before I start that, the amount of guys that have volunteered to come on here from my unit is absolutely incredible. It's not easy to share your stories, and the fact that these guys are sharing them with me and with you is something that to me is an honor. So, with no further ado, this is Don Copperstone. How the hell have you been? I haven't talked to you in a while, bud.
I would say what 2-3 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm doing.
it's been a while. We've talked a
Yeah,
little bit on like Messenger back and forth.
yeah.
Um,
Weren't we
but
messing with what's his name? Talking about how he was making porn when he was talking about making movies.
oh yeah,
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
yeah. You know, it's funny how we don't talk as much as we can, but we've talked about the funny moments and things like that. And I think I was talking to, I don't know if it was all the interviews kind of run together, but I think it may have been McCoon. And I was like, in our hardest times, we don't lean on the people that know us the best. And I think this is a great platform to just be able to talk to each other. Because again, I mean, I haven't talked to you guys in years, and just hearing your guys' voice is amazing to me.
Like I said, I still remembered your voice. Even that we haven't talked on like the phone or something, still remembered you, man.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I still remember you. All everybody really, I heard Zorro, and we all love Zorro, but I heard him for the first time in Carton when we were down in Texas for Greenwood,
Yeah.
and it was something, man. It's weird. It's just the voices, and it just brings a
It
smile
is.
to your face.
Yeah,
It's
it's
cool.
crazy. I was
Yeah.
meeting up with like Kogar and Macaluso, or no, Kogar Bob over in DC. I even heard from freaking Lieutenant Colonel Lurch. He actually met
Really.
me up in Arlington one of those times.
That's really cool, man.
It
I
was
go ahead.
it was kind of nuts, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I never said more than fucking 5 words to this guy, and now all of a sudden, Lurch, Lieutenant freaking Colonel or commanding officer, his 6'7" ass is standing next to me and shit. It was interesting.
I don't remember too much about him other than he was pretty quiet.
He
Um,
still is pretty quiet.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I think that that's kind of just him.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, man. So I know you, and I could have we could move this conversation along organically at any time, just because that's how we do things.
Oh,
But
yeah.
for those people that don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself before the military, why you decided to join the military, and yeah, just anything you want us to know about Copperstone.
So I got you. So before the military, I don't remember much too further back like that. Like not in any like real memory.
Yeah.
Um, joined the army because I lived in this tiny ass town of Luzerne, Michigan. And in Luzerne, you either do two to three things. You either work at the factory, or you make, deal, or smoke meth, or you marry your cousin, or or you get the hell out. So it was get the hell out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like I said, I always tell people like if I didn't join the military, I would have had 4 baby mamas, about 7 kids, went to jail at least once or two twice, cooking meth, making meth, and doing, yeah, that would have been up north life for me. My brother stayed up there, and that's exactly the kind of shit he did.
Oh my god. You know what? Then I'm glad that you joined the
Uh
military,
huh.
buddy. I'm
And
glad you
then my
joined the military.
yep. And then my ma joined. My ma was Army. My dad was Army. My grandpa was Marines and Army. My cousin
Wow.
was Army. So we had a lot of family down in military.
I
So that
don't
was
think I knew that, to be honest
yeah,
with you.
yeah. I had a lot of people. My
So,
cousin, he just retired.
well, see, I maybe I did know that,
He
and
probably
I
it's just a long time ago, man.
yeah, we shared a lot of stories, and some of them ring a bell. But when you spend 15 months with somebody and they're literally all day, every day, you know them like the back of your hand. But then after almost what 20 years,
Something like that,
almost
man.
20 years, you kind of forget the little things. You remember them as a person,
Yeah,
um, and that never leaves you.
yeah.
But
Even through brain damage and memory loss, still,
yeah,
it's with
buddy,
me.
I'll tell you, it's funny because um, it's the finishing of stories and sentences and that we do, and you'll probably notice it on this. I'll have half the story, and Copperstone will have the other half, and we'll put it together,
Put it together.
right?
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. So when you joined the military, you did basic training at
Leonard
Fort
would.
Leonard Wood,
Yep.
right? When did you graduate that? Because I don't, I think that
I
I joined like a little bit after you did.
you I was there maybe like 2 years before you got there. I
Oh,
graduated in like yeah, I think it was '04.
okay, then yeah,
I think it
yeah,
was
you
like
did.
October or November of '04, something like that. But
Because
then
you were a specialist when I got there, right?
yeah, you I was so I got moved there. Me and Sergeant Wright got moved there the same day because they stopped like since we're getting ready to be deployed whenever they had me in ammo squad as a combat engineer. So they took all the combat engineers, put them with line companies. So it was me and Sergeant Wright that got there the first day, and then it was you, it was Greenwood, it was Zorro, it was all these guys started trickling in once we started getting ready. So I was just there, yeah, a year or two before you got there.
Well, I didn't. You know what's crazy is I didn't think that we'd get deployed right away, and it was just it went from basic training to packing stuff up to leave
Yep,
to then I was in Kuwait. It
yep.
was insane.
Oh yeah,
Um, it was very quick. Uh, so when you got the news that we were deploying, because I still remember that formation that we were in, and they were telling us that we were getting deployed.
yeah,
Um, what was that initial reaction? Because I know at the time you were married, weren't you? And
yes,
you had a kid.
yep,
I think one.
yeah, just one.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
What was that initial reaction like for you?
So me and my wife, first of all, when I joined, it was 2004. We've been in Afghanistan for 2 years, Iraq for one. So I knew I was going. I mean, our job literally had combat in his name. So you're going to see some shit. And you joined knowing you're going to see some shit.
Yeah,
But leaving my wife and kid, so the knowledge that we were going, it wasn't surprising, but leaving my wife and kid, that was probably the hardest thing I've ever done.
can't even
Like it
imagine.
damn near killed me. I got so stressed out. Have you ever gotten so stressed out where you like get sick?
You
Like
know what I have.
sniffling? Yeah, like sniffling. It feels like you got the flu. That kind of shit. It was that bad to send me like that. That shit sucked. But I knew we were going, man.
Sorry, my kids are going crazy in the background.
I have
Um,
three. I understand.
but yeah, I can't imagine what that would feel like knowing that you have to leave your family. Now that I have one, because I was
Yeah,
lucky enough to join as a single soldier.
yeah,
And now that I'm a father, I I have that much more respect for you guys because that feeling must have sucked, to be honest with you.
Oh
I
yeah.
couldn't imagine because
Well, dude, we went
it's that.
there with the total possibility we would die. So it was like, am I leaving my wife and kid for the last time? Ever gonna see him again? You know?
Uh, that's I can't like again I can't imagine that feeling. And then on your wife's end, you know, she went from having her husband there every day
Yeah,
to now it's like what do how do I do this? How do I navigate this by myself? So I can
yeah.
only imagine on her end and the worry every day.
Oh man, that's why.
So
Thank God for army wives too, man, because they got some. It's rough.
yeah, and you
Because
know
once
that
again, we're combat engineers,
yeah.
combat, and she married me knowing I was a combat engineer. So
Yeah, and you know, I don't think that that gets talked about enough either. Is the strength of these spouses? Um,
I've always thanked the
the
spouses right
strength of these
alongside the
spouses is
soldiers.
incredible because yeah, I always tell them, you know, if a spouse comes up, you know, if am talking to a soldier or I'm really close to Wright Pat Air Force
Yeah,
Base, um, yeah, I always thank the spouse too because you know
I do.
it took a good foundation for that husband. Or it could be flipped too. I've seen it flip to where the husband is at home and the wife is deployed.
Yeah.
A lot of times in the Air Force, it's like that.
Well, and
And
they're
it,
also not banging somebody else while you're getting shot at. That's a plus.
yeah, that
Uh-huh.
is true. And their deployments, from what I seen when I was over there, was a little bit shorter. I think it was like 8 months.
Yeah,
Um, but still, I mean, it takes a good rock at home, no
it
matter
does.
who you are, to be able to perform at your best.
Yes.
Um,
When we actually got to the fighting, the like not so much depression, but the sadness of leaving. We got busy, so it got easier for me, not for her, but for me. It got
yeah.
easier because we're so damn busy.
We really were. I
We were
mean, there was no chance and no time to really let your mind free. And I think that that's a lot of the problem now is your mind was constantly moving. The only time you really had the chance was, you know, when you got some time to the MWR and stuff,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you hear we're deploying, we end up deploying. What was that like? What was that like? Because I know, and I've asked other people this. What was that moment like when we first got there? That was like, wow, I'm here. Do you have
Um,
one of those moments?
yeah, I do. It was We were still doing the training missions, like with the guys that were leaving.
Yeah,
It wasn't no like you could hear the mortars, over in Balad and shit like that. It wasn't that kind of stuff. Um, but on one of our first missions, I was in the Buffalo, and somebody shot an RPG at the truck, but it missed anything. It missed the actual truck and like went into where the little gate was or whatever. So we had
yeah.
like somebody shot a live RPG at us. That was the first time. And then what the hell did we do? We started throwing it around each other, playing catch. Yep.
It, it is so funny to look back on now and watch some of the things or think about some of the things we did,
Uh huh.
and it's
Yeah,
just
we played
incredible
catch
to
with a
me.
live RPG.
So that gave you like a moment where it was like, I'm
Yeah,
here.
I actually yeah, something. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah,
Yeah. I know for me, that ride in from Anaconda to Warhorse, and I seen the first Burka out in one of the fields.
yeah.
That was a huge culture shock for me. Like I'm sitting in the Humvee, and it was almost like it felt like this is going to seem weird, but it felt like a vacation, right?
Sort of.
Like you're getting to see all this new
At least the
stuff.
start of a vacation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you don't put two and two together that this is an active war zone.
Yep.
Um, but you learn real quick, don't you, Copperstone?
Yeah, you do, man. You learn real quick, real quick.
So, we did a 15-month deployment. Were there any moments that stood out to you that changed you? And
Well,
I know the
I only
answer to
got
that.
there 13 months because then I was medevaced out.
Yeah, yeah, I think you might have been medevaced out. Was it before me?
Yeah, I think it was before you
I think
because
did you go with Buck?
nope, I was before that.
Oh, okay,
I
then
went
yes.
with I went with Kogar. Kogar was the guy closest to when I got medevaced out, and Leonard he was still there when I got to the hospital, which was nice. So
Oh, wow.
yeah,
I didn't know that. Was that at
yeah,
launch school?
yes. He met us
Wow.
there, and oh no, you know what? I want to say it's Bamsey that he because we went out and get drunk. A whole bunch of
Yeah.
brain injured fucking soldiers. We went out and got drunk in a place
Where
we don't know. That was not a good idea.
I did that too with Leonard. I
Yeah,
remember the first day that I went down there and seen him, and those that don't know, the Leonard that he's talking about, he lost both of his legs in an IED explosion, and it so one minute you see this person, and then the next minute, all you know is he's fighting, and you don't see him again. So that initial reaction to when I seen Leonard down in Bamsey was like
I know. I loved it.
it was great, and to be able to talk to him and see that he's doing well, and
Oh, and he
that
still
was
lives.
amazing to me, man.
Yeah, he still
That
lives.
was absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know if
What
you
did you say?
talked to him after, like after we got out, but he's doing good.
Yeah, he there's a thing here in Wilmington, Ohio called Cherry Bend, and I have my kids half the time, so I can't go on the weekends because that's part of my time. And he invited me to go to that,
Yeah, we
and
got.
it's just a veterans retreat. And he
Yeah, we
comes
have
up.
one up in Michigan. Haven't been able to
You
take
have
it.
one up in Michigan?
Yep, it's called Bravehearts Estate. It's Escape. Um,
Okay.
they do like for free weekends. I'm talking about 3-course meals and a lot of hunting, and fishing, and all kinds of good stuff.
Hey, man, it's incredible what they're doing for our veterans and stuff. I really
It's a lot better than
each
it used
state
to be.
does something different. Yeah, yeah.
A lot better than it used to.
So, so a moment that you remember was, did you say getting medevaced out?
So that was that wasn't one of the rough moments. I had three when Sergeant Wright died because me
Yeah.
and him got to the unit at the same time. Me and him were friends. That was definitely that one hurt. And then you remember Route Detroit?
Yeah, buddy. So if you've watched the Macoon episode, um, I was right behind the buffalo
So you're
and
right
Macoon Lake.
behind me because that's where I was at was the Buffalo.
Exactly. So Copperstone and Goen,
Going. Yep.
Poluznik, and Stinnett
Yep.
were in that buffalo, and when that went off, I'll tell you something, Copperstone. It wasn't too far after Sergeant Wright. I
Yes,
remember
it was.
that.
I think I came across some records. I actually have a list of each time I was hit, and it was
I don't
maybe
have it.
yeah, I did. It was maybe 2 weeks after Sergeant Wright got killed. But that one, man, that one fucked me up.
That I'll tell you something, Copperstone. That one sounded different. We got hit by a lot of IEDs, and we did a lot of detonations on IEDs that didn't hit us. And the one thing for me was that that sounded different. It was it was like a deep thud that you hadn't heard before. And by this time, we were encountering IEDs all the time. It literally took my breath away because of my first thought was everybody in there is dead.
That's what everybody thought.
And then we couldn't. I remember not being able to get a hold of you guys, and it freaked me out. And then
Yeah,
I'll tell you something that was one of the days that stand out in my mind too.
I was never
Is
the same afterwards.
no, you know what, Copperstone, I seen a difference in you, and I believe in transparency, and when I see stuff,
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you about it. And I know you guys love me to death, just like I love you guys, but I seen a huge change in just everything when it came to you. I remember Copperstone being this person that during NTC would hold like Bible studies and stuff like that.
yeah,
Yeah, you did. And then, I think you went through a struggle there for a little while,
yes, I did.
and it was hard to watch.
Yeah,
It,
that's this. It was real bad, man.
yeah. You know, I'm gonna talk about Sergeant Wright for a second. I know that that's a hard subject, especially for you because you and Sergeant Wright were very close.
Yeah,
Um, but I think that that was one of the days that really changed it for literally everybody, even in the other platoon as well. Crouch has a tattoo of him on his arm. Even if you were in the other platoon, we were around each other every single day. People
yeah.
don't realize that we were like family. Um, how did you get that news? Do you remember how you got that?
I actually do.
See,
That's
I
one of the
don't
things I remember. I was one of the first to get the news.
really.
So when we were cleaning out these vehicles after they got back and all that. Not we weren't cleaning out Sergeant Wright's vehicle because that was, but just doing a clean so the other platoon can come and go catch some Z's, call down, because none of that shit was easy. But Sergeant Smith laid me over to the little our little volleyball court,
Yeah.
and it was Lieutenant Leos. I can't remember who else was there, but it was like the NCOs, and I can't remember how the hell they picked, but so I was there when Captain Leo said, like, something happened. Leonard has been evacuated. Sergeant Wright has died. And that was one of the things that fucked me up, is because I was trying to be a hard ass, right?
Yeah.
Go back, because it was after that, go back and tell your troops your all that shit. So I had to go there and tell whoever. I couldn't remember who the hell I told.
Yeah.
I know I at least told Goen,
Yeah.
but it was trying to save face, and that was really, really hard. Trying to be Billy Badass and not let like emotion show,
Yeah.
and that shit was hard,
I I
really.
can, yeah, I can imagine it being pretty hard. I wouldn't want to give that news to anybody.
No, well, it's just like you just got this news already to yourself, and you want to go in the corner and fucking like, just catch your breath and nope, back and tell these other guys.
Yeah. I don't remember how I got the news. I don't. I remember formation. I
Yeah,
remember the formation and how I remember it being on the volleyball court, and then
yeah,
they had a group of people that was going up there, and it was all. I want to say it was all NCOs. I got chosen for some reason to go up
yeah,
there with it, and the amount and the crazy part about it is you had to go right past where it had just happened. And the amount of anger that was inside of me when I went right by it was something that I honestly, I can tell you this, I've never felt in my life.
Yeah.
And I didn't know Sergeant Wright like you knew him. Yeah, he was in my platoon, and
Well, he was friends with everybody.
yeah, yeah. The thing,
Minus a few fuck ups.
I'll tell you, the funniest part was at NTC when he was in that rear vehicle, and we had somebody pull up, like a Op 4 pull up and detonate a VBIED, and he was on the mic and he was so excited and you couldn't understand a word he was saying because he got so excited. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. And that thick ass accent of his,
Yeah, he had a Jamaican
yep,
accent. Yeah,
made it even harder.
it was he was a good guy.
He
He
was.
really was. I didn't know a whole lot about him because I had only been there for a little while, but I know you and him had been super close.
Yeah,
So
he was. He was being groomed to finally be an. He was a National Guard, so he didn't know shit. Like he knew nothing. So
yeah,
Sergeant Smith was trying to get me promoted, trying to make Sergeant Wright actually know what the fuck he's doing.
yeah.
Yeah. So it was
It,
just that.
he and he was trying. I remember him getting on to me about a microwave
Yeah.
being
He
dirty, and it
actually
was their microwave.
my oldest, he used to watch my oldest for me and my wife when we went out. He
he
had like 60 girlfriends. So the trade off was I'm gonna take you over here to this chick, watch my kid.
he had no license. I
He had
remember
no,
that. Now, with that being said, I think it was the night before NTC, me and him went over to Lieutenant Bolton's house, and I drank way too much Goldschlager and couldn't drive home. And he didn't drink, and he drove me home. I'm pretty sure he literally fireman carried me up the steps to my barracks room, threw me on the bed, went and parked my car, and then I had to be up 3 hours after that to go to
uh,
NTC. And when I tell you I got off that plane and it felt like a dryer hit my face, it was so bad.
yeah,
So I was dealing with a hangover. Plus, on top of that, it was just so hot, man.
yeah. Oh, NTC was a nightmare.
Oh, I hated it. Um,
Everybody hates it.
oh, it was awful, Copperstone. So we went over sort of some of the situations that changed you and stuff like that. But when we got medevaced out, were there any moments before you got medevaced out where you were like, I've changed, or I need to get help, or anything like that?
Not so far.
Yeah,
Um, I it wasn't for like any mental health issues. It was for the whole brain damage stuff. Um, actually, I felt guilty going there
I get that.
because
Well,
it was like I left everybody.
that was one of the hardest things.
Yep.
Um, because you feel guilty because we were such a close knit group.
Well, and we didn't have enough troops, you know.
Yeah.
So those days off, there ain't no more days off.
Do you know the person that got me to go see the doctor?
Washburn.
It was Washburn.
Yep, did the same to me.
And once he said, he goes, how are you doing? And I told him, and he told me I told him, I said, I don't want to leave. He goes, you've already gotten past the most difficult part. He said, what are you, he goes, if you're not taking care of yourself, what are you in here for? Or
Yeah,
what are you here for? And it got me to thinking, if Sergeant Wash is telling me that, and Sergeant Washburn is a very hard nosed guy, he's a great guy. Love
Yeah.
Sergeant Wash.
Oh, same here, man.
But he is the type of person that no excuses. You do your job. And when
Yeah.
he told me to get help, then it felt a lot better to me.
Yeah. He
Um,
told me he did the same to me.
did you get that feeling from him too? Like hearing this from Sergeant Wash almost makes it like this is what I'm supposed to do.
It does make it feel better. Because yes, if you're having Sergeant Washburn telling you that you need to get out of here, then that, because it's the am I really that bad? Am I really this messed up? You ask yourself, am I really, you know, should I be going to uh, whatever the damn launch stool? Launch stool.
Launch tool.
Should I
Yep.
should I be going here? But then you have Sergeant Washburn saying that yeah, you do, and that takes it. That makes it gives you like it makes it feel real. Like yeah,
That was the same thing for me. And once I heard him say that, because I didn't think I would ever hear that from Sergeant Washburn. But once he said that, it made it feel go take care of yourself.
yeah,
You've done your job.
yeah.
Because when we moved from Warhorse to Spiker, it was totally different.
Actually, I don't know. I was out of there before that.
Yeah. Were you really?
Yeah,
See, I don't. Gosh, that drives me nuts that I don't remember when some
yeah.
guys left.
Well, dude, you can't remember everybody.
You
Yeah,
can't, but I don't remember you leaving before Spiker. So you left. God, you left in August then, didn't you?
July.
July.
Yeah, I got to launch stool 4th of July.
Wow, man. I
Yep.
didn't I but you know what? I think I remember talking to Sergeant Smith and telling him that I was happy that you went because I could see a noticeable change in you the most out of anybody when it came to your
Yeah,
personality and stuff. I could see that it was affecting you, which rightfully so. You lost one of your friends, and
it
then
was those Detroit missions, man. That's what it was.
I'll tell you, do you remember? I remember how many times we got hit that mission. Your guys's was the start of it. I mean, and that was when I tell you a giant boom,
Huh?
I
Yeah.
had never seen anything like that.
Yep. That's the one that fucked me up.
And then we stayed out there for 36 hours.
Yes, we did. We found what? Like, well, okay. So it was Detroit it was that hit that messed me up, right? But then when we were coming back to Warhorse, um, I was in the Humvee, least protected vehicle in the entire convoy, right? We hit all those IEDs, and every single last one of them was right in front of my Humvee, and any one of them would have killed my ass. So it was you just almost died. You should have died, and now
Yeah,
you're coming back home, and the guy in front of you, it was a fueler truck, so it never like did any damage because it was a trailer.
yeah.
But it was just every single last one that was hit in front of us was just it was boom, and then oh man, it sucked.
That day, and it was so scary. And I'll be the first one to admit because they had blacktopped over that road, and everything that we were trained on was out the window
Uh huh.
because we couldn't see anything. So basically, we were just driving down the road waiting for something to go boom.
Yeah, and didn't wait long.
No.
No.
God, man. Do you remember the thing that stands out to me that day was we went to that firing range that did not look like a firing range, by the way. Let's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
be
yeah.
honest. But we got there, we slept for maybe just a couple minutes, and it was
Oh, is
pouring
that what
down.
that place was? Was a firing
It,
range?
I believe it was a firing range, but I don't know what it was a firing range for because it was just a mud pit that I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. I do remember. I just didn't. I thought it was an Iraqi army base.
It could have been. I could be wrong, Copperstone. I don't really remember too much. I thought that it was a firing range and it was close to Baghdad. And then um, when we got there, we stayed there for just a little while. And we turned around and came
Yes, of
back.
course.
But here was the kicker for me. I was in the vehicle with Steve, our interpreter, and we got into, and I'm not good with the trucks other than the RGs, the Buffaloes, the Huskies, but it was one of the vehicles driven by the National Guard for one. And there nothing against National Guard, by the way, but you know,
They're
you,
National Guard trucks.
yeah, they're National Guard trucks and they're not up armored. I
No.
literally went to the back seat, Copperstone, and I looked. I could see the ground through
Yeah,
one of
that
the
had to make
doors.
you feel good.
When I tell you I was scared, I was like, if something
Uh-huh.
hits us the size of that ball, I'm dead.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
I heard. I
so
felt the same.
do you know what I did? I went to sleep on the way back, and I
I
was like,
did the exact same thing.
if I'm gonna
That's
go, I'm gonna
actually
go.
okay. So sad part or interesting part, but uh, let me get that in the camera. But so this tattoo, the ACDC one,
Yeah,
I got that when I was on leave for that specific reason because I figured instead of like sitting at the ground or staring at the window when I was dying, I would look down at my arm because it's my wife's initials and mine. That was the first tattoo I got.
that
I wanted a reminder, something good reminder.
I love that.
Yeah.
Nothing prepared, and it's that because I never had anxiety or anything like going down the routes and stuff. That day
Yeah.
gave me anxiety.
Yeah.
It,
No,
it
some of the routes were easy, man.
we had nights where we would just joke around on the comms and stuff like that, which was absolutely amazing. Um, do you remember playing Who Would You Rather over the comms?
Yep, sure do.
That was so much fun.
And
Um,
all of the random shit y'all said before we were fucking rolling out.
yeah, buddy, me and McCoon talked about that.
Yep. What
But
were you? What you
I,
said the Lion King one, didn't you?
yeah, I sure did.
Yep.
Then you had Buck saying Autobots roll out.
Uh huh.
It was just we had our routine.
We did
We and
every
people
time.
hated it. If you rolled with us and you were in a different platoon, which we had, I think it was actually the other squad. I think it was Sergeant Wright and Washburn. I think it
Yeah.
was his squad. Do you remember that day? They kept on pausing our routine through the comms so we couldn't say it. I remember that. Not everybody liked that, but that's just what we did.
Yeah.
And you have those superstitions.
Yes.
So you get medevaced out. Tell me what that was like and how long you spent at launch stool. Where you went from launch stool. I think our process was basically the same, but I want to hear your side of it.
Yeah. So it was blood. They basically fucking ratchet strapped you down on a damn cot. They took and put you in a, I want to say a 130 or a 17 on little like racks, and you're like I said, ratchet strapped down so you could hardly move. You can hardly move. They give
Yeah,
you like a shit ton of Percocet to hope you make you go to sleep.
yeah,
None of that shit worked. So I stared at the fucking ceiling of a C-17 the entire ride. Then they got us to Kuwait, which was about the same, and then they actually let us sit down on our way to the launch stool. I got there. They gave me this whole spiel about not getting drunk and stuff like that. Where the hell did I go to? Drop my shit off. I went to the bar.
yeah. I think all of us did that.
Yep.
I think we all did that.
And I was there a month, I want to say, and then a month in. Oh, my wife is saying no. 2 weeks. Huh? 2 weeks. 2 weeks each.
How did you like Germany from what you've seen of it? Because I know Crouch was telling me he was like, and I felt the same way. That first breath of nothing but fresh, clean air
Oh yeah.
getting off that plane was something I know I'll never forget. Was it the same for
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. Absolutely, man. It was feeling safe for the first time in forever.
Yeah. I
I
had a
did
pain.
stay on base because if I would have went off base, I would have found myself a hooker, and I'm kind of married. So I stayed on base, so I wasn't didn't find myself a hooker, you know.
if
And I
Don
told my
go,
wife, by the way. Too.
if Don goes missing after this episode, we know why.
Oh no, I told her straight up on the phone when I was calling her. I'm not leaving the base. They're having some party out there, but I am definitely gonna get with a hooker, so I'm gonna stay
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, it was something else, man.
Yeah,
So did you enjoy your time in Germany like as much as you possibly could?
I stayed. Not. I don't know, man. It wasn't nothing for me.
It was you
I
just
didn't do
basically
anything
stayed
fun.
there.
I just basically stayed there. BAMC was fun because BAMC, like I said when I said we all like went out and got like to bars and shit like that, that was over in BAMC. That
See,
was fun.
I remember. I think you had left when I was there, but we did the same thing. Crouch, me going, and we got to meet up with Leonard too and go out with him, which was it
Yeah,
was amazing.
Leonard was like, man, he was squeezing. He was squeezing launched or BAMC as much as that dude possibly could squeeze.
It was a
Because he
good.
was there for a good like 4 or 5 months, something like that.
Oh no, he. I think he was there longer than that,
Yeah,
Copperstone, because I was there in. I want to say. I want to say I was there around Christmas time, and he was still there. I believe.
yeah.
So, but I don't blame him either because the culture, the BAMC, I loved it.
Oh
I
yeah,
loved being there. I really did. I liked San Antonio a lot too.
yeah. No, me and my NCO, we didn't get along. The guy that was supposed to keep an eye on us, our charger or whatever. Because you know how it was when we were over in Iraq. The fucking rules went out the window.
Yeah.
There was unless you're getting yelled at, there's no standing at attention or fucking parade rest for some NCO. And I did none of this with this guy.
Yeah, and the disrespect when I got back. I don't know about you if you faced this, but when I got to Brook Army Medical Center, and this just popped up into my head. Um, One of the things that happened to me, I got to my unit and they told me, I think it was may have been Lieutenant Rector, was to talk to them about a Purple Heart or something. And I
Yeah,
think I had mentioned it, and an NCO down there looked at me, and the first thing we look at when we look at another soldier is your right arm because it tells if you've been deployed. And the next goes up to see if you have a combat action badge,
yeah,
um, because that's immediate respect. Um,
yes.
he didn't have a patch on his right arm, and he looked at me and he
Uh
goes,
huh.
"You didn't bleed. You do not deserve a Purple Heart."
Oh, that's nice.
And the amount of anger that went through me in that moment, it was tough, man.
Yeah, that's some bullshit right there, dude.
But you know what? I'm okay with it. I have my memories. I have my stories,
Yeah,
just like everybody does, man. And
yeah,
that's more important to me.
yeah.
So yeah, you had fun there at Brook Army Medical Center. You come back to Fort Riley. You went straight back to the unit, did you not?
Yeah, I went straight back. I landed next day. I had to show up to a rear D formation. Didn't even give me a fucking day off.
Gosh, I think that's why me and Goen had. I think you or Sergeant Buck maybe had gotten a hold of us and told us, you guys need to fight to stay at Brook Army Medical Center because they're not really doing anything. You're not going to your appointments. You still have to do everyday stuff.
Yeah. No, my over in Fort Riley, man. That's all I did was appointments.
Did you?
Yeah,
That's exactly what I did too, and I'm
yeah,
glad to hear that.
yeah. Kogar was there, and Kogar was the NCO of whatever the wounded rear D people. So he still had to get up and 6:30 do PT and shit like that. But he's like he would show up at 6:30. Get out of here. you guys went to the gym. If anybody asks you,
Yeah, and
yeah,
that again, that's that mutual respect.
yeah. Well, he was there for the same reasons.
Yeah, I still remember the stories about him. That
Yeah,
he did a lot too. He's
yeah.
doing really good things now.
He's doing really good, man. I'm proud of that guy.
Yeah, me too. I didn't get to know him very well, but anytime you see some of the guys that you deployed with doing well, it's like you're proud of them.
It is. You're proud of him, like I am with you.
I
You're doing it.
appreciate that, man.
Yeah, no problem, man.
I really wanted to do something special, not just for me, but I wanted to give everybody a chance to tell their stories, and
Yeah,
because I we've all been through the shit, and
we've
if
been
you
through this shit, man.
and talk, this is just like a normal conversation that we would have on a PG level, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
uh,
it's nice to catch up with you guys, and then to hear your guys' voices and stuff like that is just
yeah.
absolutely incredible to me.
It is. It is nice to hear each other's voice, man.
Yeah. Um, so tell me this. What have you been up to since you got out? Have you had struggles? Because I know I did. I know a lot of other guys are having struggles. And what are some of those struggles that you've been having, or maybe you've gotten better? Tell me a little bit about it. Catch me up with Copperstone because I'm
So
interested, man.
I got you. So when I first got back, first got out, I got retired real quick, like 4 months, maybe 5 months. Um, I was on 60% disability, like on Social Security. So me and my wife, we were poor as all hell. And when I got back, I tried a few jobs, but man, it's just I wasn't ready to work yet. Um, between the headaches and the PTSD, it was more the PTSD than anything else. So we were poor for a good 6, 7 years. We made it work, of course. Then we got our 100%, and now we're doing a lot better. About maybe 12 years ago or so, I finally got the tools and the medication, so I could go back to work and I could, you know, start getting us some money. It wasn't crazy jobs, mind you. I think it was Dollar General, Kroger, and now I work at Home Depot. I call them retirement jobs because that's what they were, but they help with a little bit of money. Um, Besides that,
I want you to tell. I really want you to tell this because I have seen on Facebook where you go and you talk to kids.
yes,
Can you tell me a little bit about that? Because I think that you doing that is sort of like what I'm doing right now. I think you helped the younger generation know what we went through, which I think
yeah,
is I respect the hell out of. But I think it probably helped you a lot as well,
it
did it
did.
not?
Yes, it did.
So tell me a little bit about what you would do and why you
So
decided to do that.
it was when my oldest was in elementary school. I can't remember how it started. I want to say their principal maybe started, but it was more for like you are saying right here from from us, man. So me and you are a generation, combat experience, all that shit. We are 1% of a 1% of a 1%. We are tiny. There's so little of us. If you really look into it, it's actually kind of crazy. And I remember when I was a kid, we had like a group of Vietnam vets come and talk to us, and that was like the coolest thing ever. So I figured, or I asked, like, would you mind if I have pictures? I have my gear because I still have my vest and helmet, by the way, because the army wrote it off. So cool shit. And I
Yeah.
would just tell them, I would keep it PG, of course, but I'd tell them, I'd show them pictures of us. Uh, show them the gear, talk to about it. Was more like a question answer thing, but I did it for like 6 years maybe, and then they let me do it at the junior high or junior high school. Tried the high school, but the school like flooded, and I had to get the hell out.
Yeah.
But it was to tell these kids, because I mean, these kids they don't hear it because, like I said, there's so little of us. So tell these kids our stories.
You know, I think another reason why these kids don't hear it is because we don't tell them, and there's not too many people
Exactly.
that will go there and do what you did. You know, now looking back on it, now that I have a family and stuff,
Yeah.
um, I really thought that that was a really cool thing that you were doing,
Yeah.
and you know, I'm glad that you did that because I knew that when I seen that you were doing that, I was like, oh, that's helping him too because that
Oh,
helps
yeah,
it
definitely,
out.
man.
Because I'm a big believer, if you cannot tell, of conversation. I believe
Yes.
that conversations and talking about stuff actually heals you. So the more you
It
talk to those
does.
kids, it helps you.
So I know a lot of people, a lot of us, we shut the hell up because it's too difficult to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's too difficult to talk about. But sorry, I lost my train of thought.
You were
But
just saying, I know what you're going. It's the reason why people don't go like us
there
combat
you go.
veterans.
That's what I
I
was doing.
got you,
Because yeah,
buddy.
yeah,
We'll get there. You help me out, I'll help you out there.
yeah. Nobody knows because we don't tell nobody,
Yeah,
and you're uncomfortable when you're telling the person. So that's why you don't tell anybody. But it helps them, like you said. It helps me, and they know the PG version. You know.
yeah. Well, you know, I think it's amazing what you're doing, Copperstone.
Well, I
I
actually
really do.
years,
And
man.
but here's the other thing. I'm glad that you're doing good.
Yeah, I am.
Be, because the last time that really got to like talk to you, I don't even remember when I got to sit down and just talk to you. Maybe it was when I was kicking your butt in those hockey video games
Yeah.
in
So
the
let's
tent.
shoot for 2005. How's that?
Yeah.
2005.
I'll tell you, I'm so glad that you're doing good, man.
I
I
am, man.
really
It took me a long time, just like it takes everybody else. It took me a long time, man. But um, I got my coping strategies nowadays. I know what to do when I'm depressed, anxious, whatever.
what do
Um,
tell me what you do right now because I see the plants hanging up in the background. Tell me what
yeah, that's wild marshmallow root.
I'll tell you something. We were just talking about because we had some technical difficulties on getting you on here, and you said technology and me really don't go hand in hand.
No.
I said, but Copperstone, if I was ever in the woods and I needed somebody, if I needed to phone a friend,
Yep.
it would be Copperstone because
Oh yeah,
he.
dude. I got red clover hanging up here. This stuff's marshmallow root. Sage up over in there, and I just went out on a foraging trip, and I got all kinds of good shit.
Good man, good.
And my dog ran off and ate one of them.
Hey, listen, I got a couple more questions for you.
Okay.
Um, Number one, and I've asked this to everybody. If you could give one piece of advice for somebody that's watching right now, doesn't have to be from our platoon, but anybody that is a combat veteran that is struggling with PTSD and what they may have seen or maybe something that they did. From your experience, what would be your advice?
Talk to somebody, and don't stop talking to somebody, even if it's just something little, something stupid, or that seems stupid. Talk anyways. All the go to the VA or I don't know, a civilian mental health person, get those treatment plans. Because I've been mental health stuff for forever, but I've been doing all these programs, like trying them all. And you know what? Between all of them, I have coping strategies now. I don't freak out. So I would say use those programs they got. Um, don't stop. At least don't stop talking to somebody, and just learn those strategies. Because when those strategies are, I mean, because of the 22, um, one of these therapies or just something you're talking to a therapist, uh, they can talk you down, help you down. And like I said, afterwards you learn your strategies. I know them now. PTSD, it still continues. Depression the same way, but I know what to do about it now. And that's where they need to be. And the only way to be that is to go to your therapist, go to your doctors, and get practice on how to sort things out.
Sort of how I cope. It's like it's always there, but yeah, you know what to do when it comes, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I love that. I truly do, and that, you know, just off of that, it's the reason why I started this was because I know that conversation and talking to people and getting it out, um, it helps. It truly does,
It
and
does.
I love that. I I love that you said that because it actually does help a lot. So this is a new question that I had thought of, and I think it's going to be kind of neat.
Hit me.
It just depends on who you are, right? Right. So there's a lot of people from our unit that are now watching this stuff.
Yeah.
So to those guys that you deployed with back in '06 and '07, if you could give them a message and just say something to all of them as a collective, what would that message be?
Love you guys. No, not homosexually. Straight up, just love you guys. No, nothing homo in there whatsoever.
I, I swear to God, you guys in saying that just cracks me up because
Uh,
um, I thought it was a good question, and then that's how our
I may,
conversation.
I may have, spent like long nights huddled together and sleeping next to each other and,
No,
seeing each other in the shower, but it's not just no homosexually involved. I just love you guys.
don't listen to him. Listen, I end all the interviews um, this way, but I want you to know that I respect the hell out of you, Copperstone. I'm so glad that I got to be deployed with a group of guys, and you were a part of that group of guys
Absolutely, man.
that really took a guy like me who had never been out of a small town, which I had a little bit, but and you guys took me under your wing. You guys treated me like a brother, and you still do
Oh, of
today.
course.
And I'm very fortunate to call you guys my brothers
You
because,
are a brother. You're family, man.
yeah, well, I love you, buddy, and I'm glad you're doing good.
Yep.
And we're gonna have to get together. We're only a state away.
Yeah, yeah. Well, sometime soon next year, plan on going up to Arlington again. I could pick your ass up
You
on the
know,
way.
I have not been there, and that is something that I want to do. So
I
we
go
will
every
talk.
like Yeah, I'll give every few years, and yeah, I'll come pick your ass up. I have a decent enough truck you can fit in there.
Man, you would smoke me out of that damn car. Listen, I got in this portion of it. We'll talk in a second.
All right, man.